Right then, folks. Okay, first time out today. Well, correct that. First time out to do a video today. I've been out. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. I've been dealing with a few things today. Had a walk with Stuart and his wife. That was quite cool. I was speaking about a few various things, so that's cool. Good stuff. Aye. Yeah. Yesterday was a hard day. Very hard day. That wasn't easy. I had some time when I was struggling a lot. Well, because as you noticed from the videos recently, there's been a lot of I was wrong. Me saying I was wrong about this, I was wrong about that. And, so, yeah. Although actually I think a few of the things I said I was wrong about, not so wrong. Well, the reason is because my understanding is growing as I'm walking into this new understanding. It's growing. So it's like, it is a case where you are walking by faith up into a certain level. And then, so you should be exercising your faith. You should be developing that as a young Christian. When you're a very, very young Christian, as a very, very young Christian, you can't be expected to live according to what mature Christians should be living according to. So therefore, you're going to have to learn the ropes. You have to learn the family business, and you start right at the bottom. So, you would have to learn how, first of all, to walk by faith before you can learn to walk by authority. So, I wasn't wrong about saying exercise your faith, you've got to learn to walk by faith, etc., etc. No, that was spot on. But there was another level that I was not aware of at the time. So, that's cool. But because I've been saying in videos how wrong I am about this, that and the other, yesterday got to the point, am I wrong about the dogs coming back? Am I wrong about this gorgeous, beautiful woman? The things in my heart, am I wrong about those things as well? And so, I was speaking to God about it and just saying, well, Lord, certainly with regards to this beautiful woman, she could easily say no. She has the right to say no. Free will. She can say no. That's her right to do so, isn't it, really? She has that right to say no, so therefore she could easily say no. And I certainly can understand that from a worldly point of view. Why she would look at me, I do not know. Now, obviously, if God has put love in her for me, then from what I know of her, which is very, very little, but from what I know of her, I think she will understand where that's coming from. I think she will recognise it as it is. And I think she will be blessed by that rather than see that as a bad thing. So I don't think she will say no. However, she could say no. And at the moment, certainly yesterday, that was the point. I'm thinking, well, okay, Lord, have you... Well, because my understanding, and I can only go by my understanding. I can't go by someone else's. My understanding is, as I've said this before on video, and that's still, to a certain degree, my very, very limited understanding on this situation. A situation that I've never been in before. A situation that I know from me. If she had a YouTube channel and I knew what it was, I would be on that channel. I'd be checking that channel every hour or so to see if she'd done a video talking about her love for me. And if I saw there was that, and God had put that love on me for her, I'd be saying, can we meet? Can we meet to talk about this? To start this relationship, to come together with the understanding that this is God. That's what I would do. Now, then again, that could be because I'm not a very patient person. That's quite possible. She is quite likely a damn sight more patient than I am. Well, because one of the things that I was praying years ago is that she would be strong in the areas that I'm weak. I'm not a very patient person, so maybe she hasn't done that because she's a far more patient person. I don't know. But because she hasn't done that, I'm going to God, well, okay, what on earth is going on? Yeah, last night I was saying to God, I need to know. And God says, oh, really? If you need to know, you would know. Do you know? No. Well, okay, you don't need to know, do you? Okay, Lord, you're right on that one. I want to know. And then I knew that I want to know because really, mainly, I want to be put at ease about it. You know, certainly because I've been saying I'm wrong about this and wrong about that, and wrong about this and wrong about that. I just had a time of doubt, a time of panic, whatever it was. And I just wanted to be put at ease about it. Well, then I was doing videos indoors. As I was doing videos, God was speaking to me. Now, in one of the videos, I mentioned the detail about her that when I mentioned it on the video, I felt good about it. I felt it was the right thing to do. I've not mentioned it on any videos that I've put online yet, because the videos I did earlier, I've not put them online. Yeah, I've not done that. Yeah, I've got it all edited, all done. I did 2 separate videos, which shows a bit of progression actually. You see the initial state of me basically saying, you know, if we not had this conversation between us before the weekend, I'm not sure if I can go to church on Sunday because church is going to be blinking awkward. But put it this way. Well, I'm going to go into this in a second. Well, what I will say, and I think I've probably said this already in videos, but what I will say about the detail I gave, in the other video, I gave the location of where she was born. And the reason is because 11 years ago, when I wrote down the detail of my wife, I put that exact country down as where she would be from. And that's one of the reasons that I went last night when I think God was basically saying to me, look, this is the evidence, okay? You find it difficult, well, I'm just going to remind you of what the evidence is to say that you should be, stepping out in faith in this. You should be at ease with this situation because of the fact that there's all this evidence. That was one of the bits of evidence. Because being in a church in Scotland, a church with about 20 people in it, and she not only being, I think, single. Again, it's possible she's not single. I think single. But it doesn't make sense if she's not. But, look, it's possible she's not single. It's possible she's with someone but the wrong person. And, that's maybe why it's taken a while to deal with. It might take longer if that's the case. So, yeah. Could that be possible? Yeah. But let's assume that she's single. She's one of the only single people in the church. She also, when I spoke to her about laying of hands, she not only took the challenge, but she put it back to me, which was wow. Which basically told me that the person I've been asking God for 20 odd years was her anyway. Here she was here. She's someone who I could challenge and who would challenge me. She's someone who could hold me accountable because she hasn't set limitations on God. She hasn't set limitations on what her Christianity should be, at least not that low. So that's brilliant. And then there's so many other things. So then, of course, I had to yesterday just say, okay, Lord, oh, you're right, okay. You're right. You're right with regards to the dogs. You're right with regards to her. The evidence is piling up. And okay, for now, I don't see anything concrete. I don't see anything firm with regards to from the other side, right? But am I trusting you? And I said in videos, God is not a cruel God that wants to hurt you. Wants to bring you in and say, I'm going to do this lovely thing for you. Tease. I'm just teasing, don't worry, I'm never going to do that. I've just teased you for a couple of months saying I'm going to do this, and then I've been lying. It's just been a tease. Is that God? No. Now, is it possible that we could see things that aren't there? Yeah. And I've mentioned before about the situation when COVID first started with that lady. Well, I'm pretty sure, not positive, I'm pretty sure I never tested it anywhere near as much as I am this one. I'm pretty sure I never went to God this much in the beginning. After about 6 to 8 months, I did. I went to God a lot more. Initially, no. No, I don't think I did. But on this situation, yeah. I've gone to God and God has spoken to me. He's given me information. That's saying the point of us is that she will point me to him and I'll point her to him. That sort of stuff. The corrections he's given me about how I thought the relationship should be built and what if this happens, what do we do? And God's come in and said, no, you don't have to worry about that. So God's speaking to me about the relationship between me and her, even though there is no relationship yet. But as I say, God has all of this already down. It's already been done in his eyes. So we just have to walk in it, but we need to understand what it is and how to walk in it. Be led by God to do so. But God is basically telling me with regards to her, with regards to the dogs. With regards to the dogs, I'm at peace. Generally speaking, I'm at peace with it. I have a degree of joy in the situation that I'm in. Would I have that if I really didn't believe that God was behind this? If God hadn't helped me to understand that this is him. God's doing this. He's doing it for a purpose. He's doing it for a reason to bless me. He had the dogs removed for a reason, which means he's going to bring them back. Now, let's say, is it possible they won't come back? Yes. It's possible they won't come back, of course. If they don't, then, okay, have to deal with the situation as it is. Is it possible that both of these things in my heart I could be wrong on? Yeah. Of course. Of course it's possible. But the likelihood is incredibly slim. So because it's incredibly slim, because the evidence seems to be pushing that God is doing this, and I should have faith in him to do this. I've got to do so. I have to do that. I have moments, yes. I have moments when I struggle, and that's okay. I'm not a very patient person, and that's understandable in the circumstances. So I'm not being hard on myself about that. That is the way it is. It's where I am. It's how it is. So it's like, okay. And as I say, I don't know what needs to be done. I don't know what needs to be done at her end, or even at my end still. Maybe there's more that needs to be done at my end. I don't know. Maybe. Certainly today, so far, is there anything that I can bring that, when my understanding has been opened or widened or deepened? I don't think so today. Not yet. Not as yet. So, but that doesn't mean that at my end there isn't much more to do. There could be loads more to do. But a lot of that could be done with us being together. And then there's the other question with regards to us being together. If we couldn't live at my place and we couldn't live at hers, then we need another place. But we need another place, we need God to do this. Now, does that mean we shouldn't get married until? Because normally when people are married, they live together. But do we need to live together if we're married? Do we need to have just one place? Not necessarily. I mean, that again, that's worldly understanding, isn't it? It's not necessarily godly understanding. So, again, these are things that we're going to have to figure out, and God's going to have to lead us through and help us to know what to do. Well, because it may take, 6 months, a year, or something. Yeah. For God to provide us a place doesn't mean we need to wait for that long before being intimate. And walking out this marriage in that way. No, not at all. Not at all. I have no idea what needs to happen. Certainly, as I said, if God has decided a long time ago that she and me are going to be as one, that we are important to each other and we're important to his plan in some way, then we're already husband and wife. Already. Even before it's been confirmed as to whether she understands that or whether she accepts that. We already are husband and wife. In God's eyes. So, okay. All the rest detail is simply a case of saying, okay, Lord, how do we deal with this? What do we do with this situation now? Because if that's the case, how do we walk in that? I said last time I was here about the house, about the fact that, God's position in the relationship is basically all of it. Certainly the major majority of it. Now, over time, would that be less? Probably. And the reason why I'm saying probably is because the early stages is going to be very much, certainly as a couple, put it this way, we become one, as in one person. That one person has never had a relationship with God. Now that's weird. That never came to me until just now, but it's true. That one person, as in me and her joined, has never had a relationship with God. So therefore, initially speaking, it has to be pretty full on in order to build that relationship with God and understand God and, put God in his rightful place, etc., etc. Over time, the relationship won't be quite so needy. And it would be a bit more relaxed because it would be more like a mature relationship. But initially speaking, that's the way God has said, this is the way it needs to be. And I didn't understand them, but what I just said there makes complete sense. That person these two normal Christians joining as one has never had a relationship with God. Whoa. That is incredible. So to a certain degree, that one person, us joined, we have to give our life to God as a couple. We have to commit our life to God as a couple. Do we need to get baptized as a couple? No. We've already been baptized. Well, I have. I'm pretty sure she would have been. So I don't think we need to be baptized as a couple in that sense. But we definitely need to, well, as I said before, she gives me her heart, I give her my heart, and we then give those to God. So basically, giving your life to God is the same thing. As a one, the two halves joining, that one giving that life to God does make sense. So, okay. Yeah. Wow. You see what I say? The way God just puts these little gems in. You know, as Stuart says, these little pearls, you just stick some little pearls in. As I'm walking around doing the talk, I've got no idea what God is planning to put in there. There you go, that. I never thought of that. Never thought of that. But it makes complete sense. Individually, we've had a relationship with God. Collectively, we have not. Right? That is so true. Wow. That is phenomenal. Whoa. That is cool. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, that makes so much sense, especially when I did that video where God said, no, basically, drain pipe to drain pipe is all me. I was thinking, Lord, are you kidding me? We have that little tiny bit at the end and that little tiny bit at the end for our relationship. But it makes sense. It just makes sense, doesn't it, really? You know, so, yeah, let it be that way for a time until, as a one, we built a relationship with God. We built a relationship with God that is not only sustainable, but is also as God intends for us to have that relationship with Him. And that's going to take however long that's going to take. Yeah? Yeah. Oh. That is, oh wow. Okay. That's the point to look at, isn't it, really? Wow. I've never known anyone to have that understanding. I've never heard anyone talk about it in that way. But it just makes sense. At least to a certain degree, it makes sense. Yeah? You two come together, you're counted as half, that you come together as one. Has that one ever had a relationship with God? No, clearly not. Because that one has only just got together, right? It's not even had a relationship with each other, really. Couldn't have had a relationship with God. You know? But if you're going to put God at the centre, then that one has to have a relationship with God, right? That is good. Alright. That is so good. Yeah. Oh. There you go. Didn't I say a while ago? My understanding hasn't really, gone up today. There's been nothing really, working on me. Well, there you go. It was only a matter of time, wasn't it, really? With God, it's only a matter of time. I was indoors saying to God, do I need to go out and do a video? I haven't done one today. I've got no idea what I'm going to be talking about. Do I need to do a video? And then bing, bang, bing, bang, bing. And then he puts that in there. Wow. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah. That's the point. As a couple, you need to do things as a couple. You need to worship. You need to do Bible study. You need to have that time of, talking to each other about God and what God is doing. Seeking God together as a couple rather than individual. Because really, even though you are still an individual, well, we are going to be still individuals. She's going to still need a bit of time for herself with her own personal relationship with God, absolutely. And I will as well. But yeah, that whole point of us together as one, building a relationship with God. Whoa! I knew at this point as one, we make God the centre of the relationship. I understood that. But the point about building a relationship with God as one. Nope, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. That's superb. Yeah, and look, with regards to the marriage, you don't have to be separate to do that, because if you're going to build a relationship with God together as one, you need to be as one. Right? Obviously. Now, how much as one? Yeah. But as I say, things like accommodation, it doesn't matter. If she's renting somewhere and I'm renting somewhere, to start with, until God provides one place, it doesn't matter. It really and truthfully doesn't matter at all. Nope. Not in any way, shape or form. No. Yeah. Yeah, it's, yeah. Although one thing I would say is, yeah, I mean, put it this way, most of my clothing that I have summer clothing, winter clothing. Winter clothing is in the cupboard, waiting to be brought out. Most of the summer clothing I don't use. So I've got 4 drawers, most of which I'm not even using most of the time. I've got stuff in there, but I don't use it. So of course, could she use 2 of those drawers as well? Yeah. But would that be enough for her? I don't know. I don't really know what sort of collection of clothing she has. Yeah. As I said, I don't know. I don't know what the situation would be with regards to that. But cool. Right, be interesting to find out, definitely. Again, be led by God. What does God want us to do? As with all things, it's going to be about looking to Him as the one to lead us and guide us and provide. Yeah, in whatever way He chooses to provide, really. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. I'm going to end this now, I think. I don't think I can add anything to it that would be worthwhile. So, only to say that, yeah, I will seek God later to see if He wants me to go out again. And if He does, I'll come out again and I'll do another video. But I'll try and be led by God to do that. Like I was this time. I mean, I got up relatively early. Went and did something earlier for about 2 hours. Come back, went out with Stuart and his wife. So I'm tired. I could just have had a kip. But I sought God as to what He wants me to do and go out and do a video as what God said. So here I am. I'm finishing this one now, so you take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.